Yeah, as often here, and today I'm going to be drawing.
I can't tell you, but it does rhyme with Wolverine.
And talking about my top 5 comic artist influences, so I'll go ahead and get started. Yeah, so today I just want to talk about my top 5 comic artist influences and kind of why they're my top 5, and I have a lot of other influences also, but I think these are pretty much my top 5. So, of course, number 1 is going to be Jim Lee. He just has that best, I mean, I don't know best, but like the most solid looking anatomy. Just to me, just it looks so good. And he has a George Bridgman influence too. He studied George Bridgman also, so I just love his style. Just his forms, I think, are the human form is just like the best. Just so solid the way he draws it. Just the anatomy's so good. And his hatching, I love his hatching too. How he just uses the kind of just simple. He just doesn't really go for anything fancy with his hatching. He just uses the simple, kind of not tapered, just easy simple lines just to hatch, and it just looks so good the way he does it. And I think number 2 would have to be Mark Silvestri. Just the way he draws his forms is so just his artwork is so especially human forms is so natural looking, and just so has a I mean, pretty much all my influences have a really recognizable style, but especially his is just so, I don't know, natural looking is just the best way I can think of to describe it. It just looks so good, and you can tell it just came, straight, like, I don't know how to describe it. Just, you can just tell it's like so natural. Okay, I hate to keep using the same word, but that's how it looks, how his style looks to me, and just so good, and anatomically correct and stuff too, but just so nice to look at. I don't know. And I think my number 3 would be Greg Capullo. And also, if I had to narrow it down to one guy who kind of made me want to draw like in the comic book style, it's Greg Capullo, because I saw his Spawn comic covers back in the 90s, and that's what was just made me like, oh man, that looks so cool, I want to draw like that, and just in his obviously his anatomy is really good too, and he has a little bit more of a stylistic look to me, at least, than Jim Lee and Mark Silvestri. I mean, they all have, everyone has their own style, but Greg has a little bit more of a stylized look to me. And then, of course, David Finch. You gotta have David Finch in there. I think he's pretty much the best when it comes to shadowing, to shadows, and using the shadows to define the forms and the figures. Like, I think he does it the best. I don't think anyone else really, to me, really comes close to using the shadows to define the forms. Man, it's just amazing. I could just look at his artwork for hours. It's just insane. And then my 5th influence would have to be Roger Cruz. I mean, this Venom drawing here is just, I don't know if I've ever seen a better, like, more cooler looking Venom. And I think his is a little bit more of a stylistic looking style to me, like a little bit like Joe Mad, a little bit. And I really like how he stylizes his work, and stylizes the anatomy a little bit more, but it just looks really, really good the way he does it. So these are pretty much my I think 5 biggest influences that I want to have my work kind of resemble, have all these 5 styles kind of be my style, I guess you'd say, or take a little bit from each of these artists' styles. And then I do have a lot of other influences too, like some other guys that really influenced me that I really love their work, and I'm like, wish I could, I guess, draw more like them. It would be like Adam Hughes. Like, I love his style, especially with what he does, like the Copic markers and stuff. Like, that's just amazing how he draws. And Frank Cho is another artist I really, really like, and would love to, incorporate a little bit of their style, especially his ballpoint pen drawings. That's just unbelievable what he can do with a ballpoint pen. And there's so many. There's Mark Brooks, and what he does with like Copics and colored pencils too is just crazy. And there's so many other great artists that I just love, like Jorge Jimenez is crazy what he does with digital and stuff, and how I'm pretty sure he does all of his work digitally, and he gets some really crazy cool effects in his work. And there's just so many other artists. Also, inking style. I love how Joe Weems inks. I love that kind of loose inking style. I wish I could. I don't really ink too much. I really like penciling, but like if I could pick an inking style, how I would want to draw, like it'd be like his style, which is kind of hard for me because I tend to kind of go right over the pencil lines and really pencil too tight, I think. But I wish I could ink how he does, and you know, kind of Scott Williams style too. Like I love his inking too, and he has some really great you know, doing some great penciling too on his Instagram. You can see his penciling. You know, he's a great, you know, penciler. He has great original artwork too. But anyways, that's all I'll say for today about my influences. So anyways, I hope you like the video, and like and subscribe and all that stuff. And thanks for watching, and thanks for subscribing. Really close to 500 now, so thanks a lot, guys, for watching and subscribing, and see you guys in the next video. Alright, bye.
What are you still doing? Get out of here. Go make yourself useful.
It's over. Go home.